Hello, lovely people. Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening. This is YouTube Best channel where we'll be bringing latest updates to you on what is happening in Nigeria. On today's news, we've started immediate cash transfer to poorest household, says federal government. So guys, before we go into full details on this news, I would love for you to click on the red subscribe button down below, and also don't forget to hit the notification bell so whenever we upload new videos, you will be updated. Moving on into the news. Sadiya Farouk, Minister of Humanitarian Affairs, Disaster Management and Social Development, says the ministry has commenced cash transfer to poorest households in the country to cushion effects of the coronavirus pandemic. The minister said this during a press briefing by the Presidential Task Force on the disease in Abuja on Monday. Nigeria has recorded 111 coronavirus cases spread across 10 states and the Federal Capital Territory. The country has also recorded its second death from the disease on Monday. Farouk said the ministry has commenced advance payment of conditional cash transfer to the poorest households in the country. She said the vulnerable group will also be expanded to consider more persons during the infection period. In Mr. President's speech, paragraph 54, he directed that the conditional cash transfer should be given in advance of 2 months. This we have also done. We have directed immediate cash transfer to the poorest and most vulnerable households in the country, she said. Because of this COVID-19, the vulnerable groups have to expanded. Because we are aware that there are people who live on daily wage, so we are also going to look at those groups of people to see how we can get this food relief intervention to them in this period. The minister said the National Emergency Management Agency, NEMA, has deployed trucks of relief materials to states affected by the coronavirus pandemic. So guys, that is it on this news. I would love to conclude by adding some few comments to it. I don't think there's any wrong with the idea of wanting to share money to poorest households. But the question to be asked here is, who is the poorest household? How do you determine poorest household? Are they writing poor on people's forehead nowadays? Or is this a means for them to carry this money and spread it in the north? Because they are the ones that have the highest rate of poverty in Nigeria. So them saying they want to share this money to poor Nigerians, I think is a means for them to lose and embezzle money. We are not going to be surprised if nobody receives any alerts. Because if they actually want to do it well, we have BVN in this country. Because I think that is the best way to identify people in this country. At least more than half of the people in this country have BVN. They should first of all share money to those people, even if it's little stipends. They should give people, because so many people don't have money to feed. They don't know how to survive in this lockdown period. You can imagine somebody that earns 100 to 500 naira every day, and you are telling them to go on lockdown. How would they feed? How would they eat? They survive on their day-to-day struggle. So how do you expect them to get money? If they actually want to do this, there are so many ways that they can enforce to do this properly. But the problem with Nigeria is not the lack of ideas. It is the lack of enforcement of ideas. They bring out ideas all the time, and yet they don't do anything about it. You can see that at least up to 10 billion naira was donated for the cost of pursuing this coronavirus. If you want to even look at it another way, the average Nigerian is it not poor when you cannot have access to electricity? Okay, now that the prices of foods have gone high, you can imagine a bucket of garri that is being sold from 1,000 naira at this period is sold at 2,000 naira. Same thing with rice, same thing with other foodstuffs that you can get cheap before. But now they've increased the price of everything because of the idea of lockdown. So now, how do they want to share this money? We have federal government, we have state government, we have local government. Why not share this money? Start from this local government. At least they should use this method of thumb printing to be giving people money. I don't think anybody has received any alerts yet. There's the method of BVN. There's also the method of them going to different local governments and sharing this food items, sharing this money. So if they want to share this money, we know that one is going to be audio money, because nothing that is being said that will be done in this country is actually done. Everything are just hearsay. So guys, that is my opinion on this. I would love to hear what you think about this news. Please leave it down in the comment section below. Also, moving on to the next news. Fani Kayode says the future of Nigeria must include division. In view of the COVID-19 scourge, this is the time for us to look within, to pray to our God, and to gather our strength, and to preach love, unity, and peace. However, that does not mean that we should act as if all was well before the arrival of the demon called COVID in our shores. It does not mean that we should close our eyes to the bitter truth of our pitiful conditions and statehood and our insufferable and seemingly insurmountable predicaments, or take them off the ball. It does not mean that we should forget about our quest to break the heavy chains that have held us bound and turn our backs on a quest to liberate our people. The coronavirus has come, and in God's name and time it will go. Its ugly and unwelcome presence does not mean that we should close our eyes to the monumental problems of our country and lose sight of the seemingly insurmountable challenges that we as a people are facing. This is all the more so when we are saddled with the federal government and the president who have proved to be more incompetent, clueless, and ineffectual than any other in our entire history, and who appear to have an unnatural love for cows and an incredulous affinity with Islamist terrorists. Due to the countless calls and numerous inquiries that I've received over the last few days, I am constrained to state clearly and unequivocally where I stand and what I consider to be the way forward for Nigeria. For the record, those views are as follows. Nigeria as a nation is no longer viable or tenable. It will take a miracle to keep us together as one for anything more than the next 5 years. Whether we like it or not, breakup is the future and unity is the past. This is what I sense and this is what I see. And the truth is that be the best thing for us all. Too many innocent souls have been slaughtered over the last 160 years in the name of keeping Nigeria one, and too many are being killed and persecuted today for the same nebulous and moribund cause. Outside of that, can there be any understanding between one that believes that he alone has the power over the future and destiny and over life and death, and that boastfully proclaims that he was born to rule, and another that he considers to be nothing more than a worthless slave? Can there be any love between a cruel, barbaric, retrograde, barren, callous, and unrepentant master and a resourceful, refined, productive, generous, kind, and civilized servant who refuses to bow to him or kiss his feet? Can there be any fellowship between light and darkness? Can there be friendship between the children of God and the sons of Belial? Can anything wholesome and good come out of being unequally yoked? Can you put a lion and hyena in the same cage and expect a benign result? Can a tiger and vulture live together in peace? Can a bold and noble eagle and a cold-blooded and murderous snake walk as one? Can a vicious and heartless scorpion sleep in the same pen as a harmless and loving lamb? Can a ravenous and hungry wolf live in peace with Little Red Riding Hood? The answer to all this profound, fundamental, germane, philosophical, and soul-searching question is a resounding no. The ethnic nationalities and zones of our country must and will exercise their inalienable and lawful right of self-determination in due course. For us, this is a response to what we consider to be an existential threat and a matter of survival. This is a future that the overwhelming majority of Nigerians in the younger generation hope and pray for, and it is only a matter of time before it comes to pass. The Fulanization and Islamization agenda of Usman Donfodio, Ahmadu Bello, Muhammadu Buhari, and their collaborators and allies, which has been rigorously, clinically, surreptitiously, and ruthlessly implemented over the last 220 years, cannot and shall not succeed. It has failed woefully and it has finally come to an abrupt end. The old British contraption and vassal state known as Nigeria is dead and buried. We are about to enter into a new, prosperous, fruitful, and exciting era, which will witness the emergence of between 2 to 5 new and independent sovereign nations, the total emancipation of our people, and the final establishment of liberty, freedom, and justice for all. To our collective oppressors and their powerful friends and allies in high places, we say the following: you cannot keep us together against our will, and by the force of arms you shall not subject us to another 100 years of tyranny, slavery, wickedness, savagery, barbarity, cruelty, humiliation, and bestiality. We would rather die 1,000 deaths than acquiesce to your evil designs and bow your unconscionable subjugation. After Lady Corona leaves our shores, we shall continue the struggle and be rest assured that at the end of it all, by the grace and power of the living God, and He that holds the world together by the power of His word, we shall prevail. Signed, Femi Fani Kayode. So guys, that is basically the end of this news. Don't forget to leave your comments down in the comment section below, and also don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video so that others will watch it. And remember to wash your hands, practice social distancing, and God will keep you safe. Thank you for listening to this news. Thank you for supporting this channel. Bye.